I should do something to change my appearance. But I don't. I wanted to shave off. I remember I told you that I wanted to shave off my head, but it's too cold and I didn't want to. Not yet, but I will do it. I will do it. I'll shave off my head. But for now, I just bleach my hair, which is not it's not very light, but good enough though. How are you, man? How was your weekend?
In fact, my weekend it was pretty good, even though we didn't go to the place that I told you because no one showed up.
Okay, so you don't have to go there.
Yes, but our friend from Bogota, he came. So we went to Ibagué, and I wanted to go to the cinema, but my friends they didn't want it. So we just went to Ibagué to have lunch and to make the market
Yeah.
and go for the shopping.
Yeah. Well, good. Good.
So
Good.
how was yours?
Pretty well. It was hectic. It was very hectic and like crazy because basically my baby sister came from Cali, and my older sister, she came from France, and we were all together here. So it's always crazy around the house. It was always crazy around the house in the weekends, and then we took off to Yeta. So even worse because we have to coordinate the trip to Yeta, and it was a lot of things. And in Yeta there were not enough space. I had to sleep on the floor, so it was fun. Yeah, not my ideal weekend, but yeah, I had fun, and it was nice to have my two sisters, um, to get together. Yeah, like the last time we were together, it was, I don't know, like 10 years ago. Can't remember. Uh,
Wow.
it was a
But
long time ago.
I imagine when you said that you have to sleep in the floor, and if that were me, I think that I will be, I don't know, super excited because because being gathered with the family,
Yeah,
it's super great. When my family came here in Onda, I sleep also in the floor, but we did all together, and that was very nice. We stay late night talking about everything, and that was very nice, very nice. But when they leave, I felt really lonely. I felt very sad.
yeah. I know. Uh, I don't know. It was. I don't know. I'm not fan of sleeping on the floor anyway. I hate. Apparently, it's good for you. It's good for your back and your spine, and I don't know, but I just didn't want to. And it was super cold. Um, Surprisingly, Villeta is now very, very cold. So it was not the best time to spend the night on the floor. Um, but yeah, it was fun. Yeah, and I said again, just like it was very fun to have my two sisters, you know, to be gathered together again. It was just very unusual because we live well far apart, so it's not very common. So we were my girlfriend, my baby sister's boyfriend, my father, and I, and we all went to Vieta and just had time there. Drank a couple of glass of wine, and just have a talk, just chat like endlessly. So it was fun altogether. Yeah, that was my weekend. I couldn't do any work. I couldn't do anything. I didn't prepare classes. I couldn't check or grade my other students. I had to catch up with the work on Monday. Okay. catch up with work. Okay, so yeah, I have to um, get it updated just yesterday and the day before, and that was pretty much it. You were going, you had this plan that you were going to go with your friends to sort of like a river, wasn't
Yes.
it? Okay. How good of a swimmer are you? How good of a swimmer are you?
Um,
Are you a very good swimmer? Can you swim very well?
yes, I can swim very well, but if someone is, I don't know the word. Wait,
What is worse?
drawing. If someone is drawing in the water,
Yeah.
I couldn't go save that person because I will go and and drawing with that person also.
Yeah.
I only swim by myself, of one corner to the other. The other day, I was in a place called Rio Claro in
Yeah.
Antioquia, and I no, sorry, it wasn't there. It's a place near from here,
Yes.
um, and I crossed the river. I was I I think of crossing it like 10 times, just trying, I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it, but finally I did it. And I was very tired. And when I was approaching la orilla,
Sure.
the shore, um, I
Yeah.
couldn't catch anything. So thanks God, a man were standing up in the shore, and I took his hand.
Yeah.
But another man did the same. He threw himself through the to the water, and he couldn't take anything to hold himself. So the river took him long away, far away from us. But
Yeah.
thanks God, more down, he catch oh my God, una rama, a
Branch.
branch. He catch a branch, and we found him. We were very scared because he hit a knee.
He hit what?
A knee, la
Okay.
rodilla.
He hit on a knee. Okay. So he hit his knee.
Eso,
Yeah.
knee.
Right. Okay. Oh, you say more down. And it sounds like
Yes, I say that, más abajo.
yeah. Okay. How do you think you could say that? That it sounds a little bit more appropriate. Um.
Lower,
Yeah. Which one?
lower.
Lower. Nobody's closer to that, and it's just like whenever you use ahead, up, down. Whenever I think is whenever you use prepositions of direction, you can use the comparative further. Okay, which means
Okay,
longer.
further.
Yeah, okay, like more far. That so you can say farther down. If you had gone farther down the river, we had flowed farther down the river. Well, there you go. Exactly the
Yes,
meaning of this word. It was a hypothetical situation, right? So yes, farther down.
thank you. Are you a good swimmer?
Sorry, am I a
Are
good
you a
swimmer?
good swimmer?
Uh, I don't think I excel at swim. I can swim. I definitely can swim. I can swim very fast, and I don't have a lot of how to say resistance. I cannot swim for a very long time. Like I couldn't do it like these people who swim up the rivers or swim across the rivers. Um, I don't think I can do that. But yeah, I can definitely hold myself above the water, and I can swim. Yeah. Um. Once I could you swim when you were a kid? Could you swim when you were a kid?
Yes,
Okay, good.
I learned by myself. I
Yeah.
learned swimming like a duck, like a puppy.
Dog
Do
paddle.
you know how is it?
Yeah. Dog, dog paddle or doggy paddle.
Yes, like
Yeah,
paddle.
dog paddle. Yeah, I did. I used to swim like that. It's good. It's a very good technique. very very unappreciated. Very unappreciated, but it's a very good technique. It's actually very efficient in terms of keeping yourself above the water. You shouldn't spend much energy because it's very dangerous if you exhaust yourself while swimming, you can drown. So definitely you will drown if you exhaust yourself. So the idea is to do the less amount of movement in order to save energy, so you can get back to shore or get back to out of the water. So yeah, doggy paddle is a very good technique, very strategic, and is a very energy saving technique. I do. I think all babies they do know how to doggy paddle. Uh, because I've seen like babies they throw them into the water and they just start doing it like very naturally. Like they don't need to be taught to swim like that. They do it naturally. So I think that technique that is more than efficient is actually very natural for people. If you do that to a dog, they do that. The cat, even they say cats don't swim. If you throw a cat into a water, they would dog paddle, and they probably would dog paddle to the shore. They won't let themselves go down in under the water. So it's a very unappreciated technique, but it is a very good one. Okay, so I could swim too when I was a kid. I was a very good swimmer. I think I was a better swimmer then, better at swimming then than I am now. Okay, since when did you? Yeah, so I was gonna be saying that. Okay, when did you learn to swim?
When I don't really know, but where it was in lakes, I
Yeah,
learned swimming in lakes. After I improved my swimming
yeah,
in the pool. Do you remember that I told you that I was taking
yeah,
swimming classes? I improved it in
yeah.
there. But I learned in lakes. In Ocaña there are several lakes, and I used to wait
Yeah. Okay.
to make tantrums to my
Okay.
brother because he used to go often to those lakes, and he never liked to pass time with me, but I do.
How
So
do
I
you say
start
how do you say pasar tiempo conmigo? How do you say that in English?
spend time.
Very good. Okay.
Okay. He didn't like to pass time with me, but I did like spending time with him, but he didn't. So I used to make tantrums. So
Okay.
he he felt like the obligation to take me there.
Yeah. Usually
So
they feel guilty and they do it.
yes, and I start crying and tell him, please take me there. I want to go. So the last thing that he did was taking me with him.
Yeah, I guess they
Yeah,
usually,
so
yeah, kids usually throw tantrums to get what they want. I did that at least. Yeah, I once I did a hunger strike. My mom, because he she didn't want to. Well, I guess they told me that we couldn't go to the swimming pool, and I throw a tantrum, and then my mother got angry because I was just throwing a tantrum. I was being very childish, and well, I was 7 or 8, and
when
I threatened her, and I threatened them, my whole family, because my whole family was were saying that we couldn't go. Me and my cousin. My cousin just was, okay, let it go. Just like, we'll go another day. And I was, no, I want to go. I just like, I threw a huge tantrum. I was a drama queen when I was a kid. Uh, I still am. But when I threw a huge tantrum and I threatened them to do a hunger strike to
when I was a child, and I used to be very hungry. I haven't changed it because I'm still very hungry. And when I finish my lunch after, for example, 2 hours, I was hungry again, and I asked my mom for food, and she gave me food. But after it, I got again hungry, so she used to tell me no more food. But I used to go to the kitchen and eat the food um, a sus espaldas. I forgot that word you told me that
behind her back, behind her back. Yeah.
behind her back. And when she released it, she wait, ay Dios mío.
It's okay, don't worry.
Um, how do I say olla? La olla de cocinar.
A pot, a cooking pot.
Cooking what?
Pot.
Pots?
Pot, yes.
Okay. My mom used to take the cooking pot full of food and sat me down on the dining on the table and told me that I have to eat everything until I couldn't eat anymore or she will hit me.
Okay, good. All right.
Yeah, so
Yeah, that's
but of
there's
course I tried to eating until I was satisfied.
yeah.
But she acts like she just forget it and doesn't um today I'm forgetting the words.
It's
No
okay,
me
man.
obligaba.
Sorry?
No me obligaba.
She didn't force me. She didn't force me.
Yes, it didn't for me to eat everything.
Okay, good. Yeah, well,
Yeah.
I was a child, so I was childish. I think but I did threaten my family to carry a hunger strike. You know strike, right? Strike.
Yes, but I don't know what does it mean in this context.
Hunger strike. It meant
Oh, okay.
I threatened them not to eat, to stop eating. I would say I won't eat until you take me to the pool. And of course, it was already like a challenge. So my mother said, "No, you're not going to the swimming pool." And now you'll see. She's like, "Suit yourself, okay? Como quieras. Suit yourself. If you don't want to eat, I won't force you." And they didn't force me, and I went 2 days without eating, until my mother got really worried and said, like, okay, you prove your point. I'm not gonna take you to the swimming pool, but I need you to eat. So she forced me. She forced me to drink juice. and because I was already too weak in 2 days. I was a 9-year-old kid in 2 days without eating. It was just terrible. And I was drinking water, but I wasn't eating anything. And they were surprised that I was so resilient or so resolved to carry out with the threats. Okay, so yes, I did carry out. They didn't take me to the swimming pool, so yeah, you cannot blackmail your mom. That's the moral of the story. Uh
Yeah.
you remember? You know what blackmail is, right?
No.
Who? A chantajear. Okay, so
Uh,
you cannot blackmail your mom. Your mom is stronger. So yeah, I didn't get what I want, but I get the recognition of my mom. She said, "Okay, I give you that. You you went, you 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 what you said you did what you said you were gonna do." So she gave me that list. I quit the hunger strike with a little bit of dignity after that, because my mom was okay, but I'm sort of how do you say surprised now. I'm impressed, she said. Like, I'm impressed you went 2 days without eating. Okay. So she forced
oh,
me to eat. She said, well, either you eat or you go to the hospital and I put you on an IV solution. So I didn't want to. I hate needles. So, okay, IV solution. This is hospital vocabulary, IV solution. Yeah.
mm,
I think it's intravenous solution, which is sueros, which is that if you don't want,
intramuscular.
yeah, sorry,
Intramuscular.
no, intravenoso, IV,
Ah, okay.
IV solution, yeah. The whole system is the central line, but I think it's that is technical vocabulary
Yeah.
from the hospital.
Can you give me please a little second? I'm
Yeah,
thirsty.
yeah, me so am I. I'm gonna get some water too. Thank you, man.
Fuck. That's found by a wasp.
Yeah, got some water too. So thirsty. Just um. Okay. So where are we? Okay. So yes. So apparently I can not I can go without eating for a very long time. Have you ever fast? Have you ever
Um,
fasted? Have you ever fasted?
um, wait.
Okay.
No, never.
New word. Okay, fasted. When you have your breakfast, you actually break your fasting state. Okay, same. If you break apart the word, in Spanish, it also means the same thing. Like you say, desayuno, desayuno, dejas de ayunar. So you break fast. You break your fasting states.
Well,
Okay.
when I was a kid, I never fasted, but I think that now that I'm an adult, I fast almost every day because I don't used to have breakfast because I have to cook it for myself and it's boring. I just I just have breakfast only when I buy broccoli
Okay.
and and when I buy milk and and cereals.
Cereals. Good.
But when I finish it, I don't have any more breakfast.
Okay. Yeah. There. I don't know. I like fasting, but I'm not really good at it. I can fast. I have fasted for 24 hours, and I once I fasted for
Much
48
time.
hours. Yeah.
I
It's really
only I only can fasted the breakfast.
okay. So you can. I just say saltarse el desayuno. You can
Skip breakfast.
skip breakfast. There you go. Breakfast. Skip breakfast. I usually skip lunch because I have usually have classes and I don't have much time to have lunch. But I try not to. When I fast, the last time I fast for 24 hours, and I was it was not fun. I didn't have a good time. I was super weak and I was super nervous, anxious. I was thinking about eating all the time. Like it was the only thing in my head. And I've known people that they have fasted for 4 or 5 days, and I don't think I would have been able to do it. Uh,
I don't think that I will be able to do it because when I'm hungry, and for example, if it's 3 of the afternoon and I haven't had lunch, my brain automatically starts thinking in food and food. Oh my God, I'm
yeah,
hungry. I want to eat my lunch. I want lunch. I want to go and eat something. And it's like I I I get like compulsive. I think so.
impulsive. Yeah, I get. Yeah, me too. I get anxious.
Uh,
I get hectic. I got irritable. Um, yeah. It's not a good state when you're hungry.
but what I can do is like control the amount of food. For example, if I'm eating like a pig, I have willpower, so I can start. For example, I have a week eating too much, but I want to start eating little. So I say I'm gonna start from tomorrow, and I do it, and it's not difficult to me to cut. Uh, to cut dramatically the amount of food. I can start eating little. The only thing that I need is to eat something little
Okay.
or much, but eat. Yes, good back.
Yeah, good. Yeah. I was just I do that. I do that. I've cut back. The amount of food that I ate dramatically. I'm extremely significantly at least, and yeah, I think I have a good willpower. Yeah, resource. A good power. How to say storage. I do have. I can do things that are really uncomfortable and I can do it for a long time, but it's not my cup of tea. I don't like it. I just don't want. I have already gave up. I have already given up so much food or so many types of food that I'm not willing to give up anything else. It's just like no, I need to eat. Yeah,
Yes,
but yeah, definitely. So what we know now is that you can swim, I can swim. We're not very good swimmers, but we could swim when we were kids, and we can fast. We
Yes.
can fast when we were. I could fast when I was kid, and
It
how
took
would I
me
say?
a lot.
If yo podía yo podía ayunar y una vez logré o pude ayunar por, ¿cómo dirías? Pude o tú pudiste ayunar por 2 días.
Ah, you could fast for 2 days long
Uh,
or 2 days
Today-
straight.
for, for 2 days straight, very good. But when you say I could fast for 2 days straight, what it means is that I had the chance and I had the opportunity, but I didn't do it. Okay. So how would you do
Okay.
it? How would you say it if you did? If you achieved that? Okay.
So how is the right weight? The
Okay.
right weight.
I know you know. I know you can into it, which is the right way. So I wanted to give it a shot. Okay. What
Okay,
other
I don't know. You could fast for 2 days
you could fast
in
for
a
today?
row.
It means again. It means that I could. I had the chance, but I didn't do it. Okay. So you have to change the verb. It's the verb which is saying that. Okay. So which alternative do we have for the verb could or the verb can? Which is the alternative?
Oh my God, I don't know.
You you have used it. Okay. You know, cuando dijiste que no podría ayunar por 2 días. O sea, no podrías ayunar. Algo dijiste así. How would you said it? And you said it with the right verbs.
Oh my God. Remembering is so difficult to me. Oh my God.
Yeah, I know. So it's for me. Yeah. So I said for me. Okay, so I'm just gonna share the screen a little bit. So I'm just gonna go
Yes.
to okay. So we have
Okay, I remember now.
you remember now. Good.
You, but I don't know how to structure it.
I would say
You
I could
were you
I
were
could
be no,
yeah good go ahead.
you were able to fast for 2 days.
Excellent. That means that I did it. Excellent.
Yes.
All right. So we have this one, and basically anytime you said that or you've been presented with this sort of chart, they tell you that these two structures are similar. Okay. Uh, So let me change. Yes. Okay. So these two structures are very similar, and they are similar, especially in present. In present, there is no difference to say I can swim or I am able to swim. Uh, rule of thumb. Rule of thumb. Uh, a rule of thumb is whenever you can use can, you should use can for abilities. Okay, so we're talking right now about modal verbs, and we're talking about abilities. So we have the verb can and the verb could, which expresses abilities in the past. Okay, so basically in present, yeah, tell me.
Can you please tell me what is the difference between could and would, and when I could use both?
Okay, the
Because I'm a
difference.
little confused about those two words.
Okay, there is one of them is an auxiliary verb. Would is an auxiliary verb. The it modifies the intention of the verb. Okay, like if I say I will go if I say I will go, it means that I have the disposition, I have the will to do it. But if I say if I would go, I'm expressing a condition. You're expecting to have a condition. I would go if you, blah blah blah. but that is in Spanish. It would change. It would change the ending. It would change the declension of the words. Okay, cambiaría la declinación de los verbos. En este caso, yo iré, I will, yo iría, I would. Okay, so in that sense, would is an auxiliary verb, and
Okay.
could is a modal verb. Okay, it has a meaning by itself. It means podía. Okay, and tiene un significado por sí mismo. Okay, would doesn't have meaning. It doesn't have a translation. Okay, would is just whatever the other. It would mean, it would be translated whatever the next verb, the verb, the following verb means. Okay, so I would go, yo iría. I would like, me gustaría. I would stay, me quedaría. But it doesn't have a meaning in itself. It doesn't have a direct translation by itself. As well as unlike could, which actually means podía, okay, or podría cuando estás hablando, when you're expressing possibilities, but not today. Today we're talking about only verbs that expresses abilities. Okay, so in that sense, just only very limited to that. Um, Okay, so that's the main difference. One is a modal verb, the other one is an auxiliary verb. Okay, and the other one's going to modify the next one, and this one has a meaning on itself.
Okay.
Okay, so can and its alternative, which is be able to. In this case, present would be am able to, or you are able to, or she is able to. Uh, for instance, they have no difference. Okay, when do we use it? There is no difference. It's the same to say I can swim or I am able to swim. It's the same. It just doesn't change anything.
Uh,
Okay.
Sure. Can I ask you another question?
Yes. Ask as many
You
questions.
said, for instance, and that is the same, for example, don't it? Isn't it?
What is the question? Sorry.
You said, for instance, and that is the same of, for example, isn't it?
Okay. For example.
You said, for instance, right?
For instance. Oh yeah.
Yes,
For instance.
for instance. And that is the same for saying, for example.
Yes. Yes, it is, man. Sorry, I didn't understand at the beginning. Yes, they mean
Okay.
the same. For
So I
instance, it can
can
be.
use, for instance, um, always, just to replace, for example.
Uh, I wouldn't know right now because I can't think of any examples or any, and I don't know the grammar rules for that. So I would have to read some of the grammar rules. But as far as I can tell you right now, it's just they mean the same. They are interchangeable. You can use for instance, you can use for example, and I don't know if for instance can be used in another context or with another
Be-
meaning.
Because in English conversation, I have these encounters. So I have to use um, words that don't be basic. I mean, advanced words or phrases. So I
Yeah.
think, for example, is too basic. So it's better to use, for instance. But I don't know if I can use it all the time.
All the time. Well, I think it's a false belief that, for example, is a basic and it should be banned from academic writing. I don't think that's the case. I think you should use it when it's appropriate. I've seen many academic writings when you can find, for example, blah blah blah. I think in this case, when you use, for example, I would use. This is my personal opinion. I haven't seen any a style, rule, or norm that would say otherwise. But I think you could use, for instance, when you're going to, usually followed by colons, you say, and when you are going to list very formally a couple of things, or three or four things, and you can use, for example, in a much more informal way, but it doesn't have to be banned for academic writing. I think you can use it within a sentence without colons on everything, and just saying, for example, blah blah blah, such as da da da. That you can use, for example, in academic writing, you can use, for example, with the same meaning, with the same degree of formality as you said, such as. Okay, so we have several cases such as blah blah blah, or you can say several cases, for example, blah blah blah. I think it could fit very well, but I don't know exactly the rules. What I what I what I think is, you shouldn't be like banned, like, oh no, you cannot use, for example, it's so bad English. I don't think it's I don't think it's true, and I don't think it should be like that. Like, you should avoid writing, for example, just because it's a basic thing, and it's basic because we overuse it. I think it's basic because we learners and teachers, we overuse it. But I think we should be allowed to use it whenever feels fluid, especially within the paragraph. That is my personal opinion on that. I don't know. I'm not I'm not trying to controvert what your teacher said, but yeah, but because it's a common belief. I've used it.
Well, my teachers haven't teach me anything about it, but the teacher of English conversation, she said the other day, "What is your career?" And automatically, I remember that you said career is when you start putting on practice what you study, and when you're studying, you have to say program. So I said she's wrong.
Oh my God, you said that to her?
No, no, no. I thought it in my head. It never came out of my mouth.
No, no, it better not. No, they don't take that
No,
criticism
no.
very well. No, no, no. Anyway, so no, we are, as teacher, we make a lot of mistakes. I do make a lot of mistakes. So I don't care if a student corrects me or anything. If I don't know, I'll say, well, I don't know. I'll check the grammar. Just the most honest answer I can give you is just I don't know. Sometimes I don't know. Sometimes I have, even when I have studied the grammar, I always give room to doubt. Like, I'm not 100%. I never 100% sure about anything. Just my basic philosophy. I can't be sure of anything, and so I check if some people use it. Maybe in informal conversation. I don't know. So that's the idea. Okay, so yeah, no, career is just your job, is what you do when you put you said, actually, the explanation that you just gave is much better that the one I gave you when you asked me. You said it more articulate, and probably more accurate than I said. A career is when you put in practice, is the path of jobs and jobs apply applications that you do, you when you use what you learned and you put it in practice. So it was a very good definition, man. You should write it down. uh,
Okay,
okay,
okay.
so no, yeah, and a program is what we call here carrera, and it's just it refers to undergraduate or graduate programs. It doesn't differentiate it. Okay, so well, let's go back to modal verbs. Okay, on the on the left we have the modal verb. The modal verb are just verbs that they have a particular, very specific. they have a very specific structure when you write it. Like, for example, they are usually followed by an infinitive without the preposition to. So I can't swim, never I can't swim, which is a very common mistake in some students. And the same goes with could. On the other side, we have what they call modal-like verbs, which are considered modals.
What?
Modal-like. I'm just gonna write it down.
Okay.
Modal-like verbs, or semi-modals.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I'm never comfortable with the word semi-modal or even modal-like verbs. I like best modal-like verbs because it's more what it is. It's not semi-modal. It has absolutely nothing of a modal from the point of view of syntaxis. It's just absolutely nothing. They look like normal verbs. They must be conjugated. One thing that modal verbs have is they are not conjugated. So you say I can, you can, she can. It's the same verb for all the subjects, and which is not the case with semi-modal verbs or modal-like verbs. They have to be conjugated. So in this case, I think it's more accurate. I think it's more accurate to write like the semi-modal verb here is be able to, which is what it is, plus verb one. Okay. For one. Okay, so it's just exactly what it is. These brackets, because I put it here in brackets, it means it needs to be conjugated. Okay, so it has the disadvantage that you need to think about the conjugation, but it has the huge advantage that it could be conjugated in whatever tense you can think of. Okay, so modal-like verbs are very useful because they are not bound by their limitations in conjugation. Because can, when you're expressing ability, can only be conjugated in present tense when it's expressing abilities. I can swim. Okay, you can use could to express past, and I could swim when I was a kid. Okay, so that is a limitation of the modal verbs, and limitation which modal-like verbs don't have. You can actually conjugate it in whatever tense you want with whatever subject you have in you can imagine. Okay, so for example, I can say, like you said it, you said it yourself. No sería capaz, or no podría ayunar. I wouldn't be able to. I wouldn't be able to fast. Okay, I can say, oh, if you put me in a river, I won't be able to go across the river. Okay, so you can conjugate it in present, in future, past progressive, whatever you want. Okay, for example, if you want to say, oh, no he podido dormir muy bien estas noches. Okay, it's present perfect. You can't conjugate can with present perfect, so you need to use be able to. I haven't been able to sleep very well these nights or these last nights. So it's very useful to have a very good understanding of what a modal verb like is, because they work in the same usage. They are used for the same thing. In this case, for abilities, to express ability, and they can be conjugated in many. They are not limited. They are not bound by their tenses. Okay, and that's it. Now, going back to the charts that I just made, because I forgot to make it before, so it's just awfully made in Paint. So can is equivalent of able to, are able to, or is able to, but and it doesn't make a difference. You can use either one of those cases. You can use them both in whatever. Sorry, you can use either of those. Okay, cualquiera de los dos los puedes utilizar. It would mean the same in present. In past, that is the other problem. Like you can express past abilities, but in general terms. I could swim when I was a kid. Could you play football when you were a kid, Andres? Could you play football?
No,
You
I
couldn't? You
no.
couldn't play football? Okay, fine. Doesn't matter. But for example, I could play when I was a kid and pude jugar varios partidos. I cannot say I could play several matches because it would mean I had the chance, I had the opportunity, but I didn't do it. So I need to say I was able to play several matches. Okay, so general abilities in past you can express it with could or was able to. It doesn't matter. You can use either. But particular achievements, particular things that you get to do when you were a kid, they need to be when you're talking affirmatively. You can only be they can only be expressed with was or were able to. Okay, and that's the only way. Negative, you can use either. You can say, were you able to play football when you were a kid? Yeah, fine. Could you play football when you were a kid? Fine. You can do negative perfectly. You can use either. Oh no, I couldn't play when I was a kid. Oh, I wasn't able to play when I was a kid. Okay, they both are correct. But if you want to say affirmatively, if you want to express that you did something that you did carry an accomplishment or an achievement about an ability, then it should be expressed with was or were able to only. Okay, there is a couple of exceptions when you talk about senses. Okay, like for example, listen or hearing or seeing. I could see you yesterday. You were going into the supermarket. In those cases, when you're expressing senses like sight, hearing, feeling. Oh, I could felt. I could felt. Sorry, I could feel very cold last night. That's perfect, and it's affirmative, and you don't need to use was able to. But it's only when you talk about perception or yeah, perception in general terms, and senses, seeing, hearing, touching, that kind of thing. The rest of the cases, if you want to express a particular achievement about something, you should use was or were able to. That's the best grammar I can express about that. Okay, so now you can speak. Now you can speak English. Could you speak English when you were younger?
No, I, I wasn't able. I don't know if I'm right. Am I
Yeah,
right?
you can say you can. I wasn't able to, or I wasn't able to speak English when I was a kid, or I couldn't. Negative, no problem. You can use either. Okay.
Okay.
Mm, okay. So, when was the last time you spoke English? Well, it will start with me. When was the last time you spoke English with a person different than me?
Uh, Speaking, it was with you, but writing, it was this morning with a friend from Australia
Yeah.
that the Skype remind me that yesterday it was his birthday, and we have like 4 years without being in touch. So I told him happy birthday, and I asked him if he still remembers me because I don't know if it's his culture or just him, but he's very weird.
Yeah.
So we have to talk a lot. So yeah, um, speaking the last time it was with you, but writing it was with a friend.
Okay. Could you Could you write a very long text text?
Yes, I can.
But in the past,
Yes, I could.
I could, but you didn't, or you did.
Yes, I was able.
Very good. I was able to write a long
Was
test
able to
for.
write a text.
Okay, very good. That's a little bit. It's tricky. Don't worry. I still make mistakes with that. No problem. I don't think. I don't think it's a mistake, but it could cause confusion. Okay, because it definitely doesn't mean the same. Okay, when you say I could write a very long text, the people would be like, but so why didn't you? Why didn't you do it? So that would be a little bit confusing, but I don't think I don't think you will run into that mistake um, so frequently that you'll say, oh, I need to learn this rule. I think you will learn it sometime. As I said, I still make that mistake. Sometimes I when I said the mistake, or when I said something that it wasn't, that it didn't mean, like I could phone my father, and already in my head it sounds weird. Okay, already in my head is like, oh, it sounds weird, and then I change it. I was able to phone my father yesterday. Okay, so you can say, you didn't, did you remember the birthday of your friend? Did you, could you remember it?
No, I couldn't remember
Very good.
his his
Okay.
birthday.
The Skype system, the Skype reminding system, reminded you of his
Yes,
birthday, right?
yes, it did.
Okay, very good. Let's talk about more things that we could do. Ask me if I can. Ask me if I can speak German. Shit, I can't speak German.
Do you can speak
Uh,
German?
how do you say? Okay,
Um, I can say both. Are you able to speak German,
very good.
right?
Or,
Or can you speak? No, could you speak German?
uh, but right now, right now you would say, I can you, because can
Okay. Can you
only, is only used
present?
for present, right? If you say could you, and you're still express, you will be expressing future. Okay, because it's a possibility. Okay, you can
Mm,
use could as future, but it would mean possibility, not ability, really. Okay, so
words are very tricky. It confused
yeah,
me.
a little bit. Yeah, a little bit tricky. I give you that. It's not the easiest way to remember those. I still get confused about tone by them, but yeah, just run. You have to run with the punches. You know, roll. Sorry, the expression is roll with the punches. Just go ahead, and you'll make the mistake, but you'll realize that you're making a mistake, and you self correct. You'll be, you will get better at self-correcting. So I think I did good. Um, okay, so I can't speak, I can't speak German. I can't speak German. I can't write German. I can't do anything. But I think if I apply myself, if I start reading German books or German readings, and if I start trying to have pen pals like you have your friend from Australia, then probably in December, if I do it, how do you say? Yo podré hablar alemán.
I will can speak Alemán, or I will be able to speak Alemán. German, sorry.
Allemand is French. Um, uh, but no, you can't. You can, another thing with the modal verbs, they cannot be combined with other modal verbs. Also, you cannot say I will can. Okay, so the only possibility is will be able to. Remember, can only be used for present. So you cannot say can expressing future unless you're expressing possibility. Okay, so don't worry. So now, for now, can, you have to memorize. If you're expressing an ability, can be used in present simple. If you need to express past or future, or sorry, present perfect, future perfect, or any other crazy tense in the English language, you will need to use be able to. And so I will be able to, yeah, if I do all that, if I apply myself, if I start reading, if I get a pen pal, I will be able to to speak German more or less appropriately. So that's the thing. What about ask me if I could if I learned German if I learned German 3 years ago. Yeah. Oh, don't know. Ask me if I learned German 3 years ago.
Did you learn German 3 years ago?
I no, actually, I think it was 5 years ago. That's why I forgotten everything I learned. Um, yeah. No. Ask me if then I could speak German then.
Hmm. Could you speak German?
Very well, excellent. Yes, could you speak German once because is you could it because it's a question, so it's allowed to use could, and second because it would have been a general ability, so I can answer if it were true because it wasn't. But if it were true, I could say, yeah, I could speak German. Yeah, I was very good at speaking German then. But it's not true. I couldn't speak German either. I can now. Was really I had very good grammar, and I loved the language, and I grew to love the
Did
language.
you learn it by yourself?
No, I went to an institute. I went to a language institute for 1 year, I think, and then now I learn by myself. I have some grammar books, and I try to read the grammar, and yeah, I learn from books. What I like about the classroom is just the social components. Like you have friends, you can talk, but I don't think I'm not trying. I don't want to sound like arrogant, but I don't think I need a teacher anymore because I know enough German to know that what kind of rules can I follow, and I've been teaching a language for a long time. So I would enjoy a lot to be in a classroom because I like to be fed information. To be fed information. I like to receive instructions, but I don't think it's necessary. I think it would be a waste of not time, but definitely money if I pay for the teacher. What I need
Yes.
to do, what I would need to do is to find a pen pal, someone who I can talk
What
to.
is pen pal? Ah,
Uh,
okay. I know what it. Oh, I know.
there you go.
I
Yeah,
I already know how to write it.
yeah, good. Yeah, you have a pen pal from Australia. Um, So that's pretty much it. Yeah. No, but the honest truth is I couldn't speak German. Like 5 years ago, I was studying. I was very good at grammar. I passed exams, but I couldn't speak German at all. So I think you need more than grammar to speak a language. You need to be confident, and you need to find a pen pal, and so or no, a talking partner, actually more than a pen pal, a talking partner. You need to find someone who you can talk to. It doesn't have to be native, but It needs to be in the language, in the target language all the time. Okay,
Yeah.
you don't need a native person all the time. You could self-correct and learn new things if if you read and you watch and you listen to the language. You can use a person that is a learner too. And but
But it's pretty difficult to find a pen pal or a speaking friend because when we do it, sometimes the other person goes with double intention. So
what do
so the person that usually do it are the person who are establishing a relationship. I mean, a love relationship, for example.
you think they may take advantage of the relation of the tandem relationship? Tandem is an interchange of languages,
Yeah,
like when you're
I,
teaching them.
I say it because when I start learning English, the only way that I could improve it was because I found a girl on internet and we start talking and we kind of felt in love each other.
Okay.
So so we kept our relationship for 3 years and and yes, with her I could, but I found other friends and I used to talk with them for video chat like twice or 3 times, but they never show up again. So
Yeah, yeah, I know
I
what you
lost
mean.
contact with them.
Honestly, I don't have much experience because I haven't done it. I think I'm so self-conscious about my German, my German even writing, that the only time I went into a website that is for language exchange, and I had this friend. She was from Austria, and she was like from the countryside, and she was a very nice girl. That's very kind, and she was very patient with my German, which was really bad. Um, and I could never phone her. I could never do like a voice conversation. I only did it by on yeah, by text. Um, so so I didn't, and I met with her like twice, honestly. So I didn't have I never had a pen pal. That's what I'm trying to say very inarticulately.
I
Uh,
also I also had two friends. One girl from Philippines, and I used to talk with her almost every day. But one day she just disappeared, and ah, no supe más de ella.
I, I
I
I never heard from
I
her
never
again.
heard again about her, and I still have her on Skype. And yesterday I typed a message for her, but I didn't get a response. And I had a friend from Italy, and we used to talk also almost every day. But he also disappeared, and I never heard about him anymore.
Oh yeah.
They
Well,
just
it
disappeared
happened.
and didn't say anything.
Yeah, old man. I don't know. I like I'm
I
saying,
don't
you
know
have
if
more
they're
experience.
alive or dead or sick. I don't know.
I don't think they're dead. It's just like people get busy. I don't know, man. You definitely have more experience on that area than I do. But I think these like people get busy, and they then stop doing it for yeah, they stop doing it altogether. And
Or maybe
but
they find a couple and
yeah,
and yes, get busy with
exactly,
couples.
exactly. They can they find a loved one, or they find a boyfriend or a girlfriend, and then they get busy, and don't they don't have time for you anymore. What you know?
Yes.
Bad. They're bad people. No, no. I think these people get priorities, and then they become just that. You're not. You end up not being a priority for people. And I don't think that that is limited to this relationship, this language exchange relationship. I don't think it's limited to that. I think it's in all types of relationships. When you see, you have sometimes good friends, and whenever they find a very demanding job, that they find a loved one, or they get married, then they don't reach you as much as they used to. They don't see you much as they used to. You lose contact with them. I think it's in all, is in general. I think it's in general in relationships, but obviously it could be very evident when you're trying to exchange um, um, practice or language practice with people in these kind of platforms. Have you ever been to Buzu, the Buzu platform?
No,
Yeah,
no.
I don't remember how to write it. I think I'm just gonna write it, and I'm not sure I'm doing it right, but I think it's written like that. Buzu, Buzu.com or something like that. It's a language exchange platform. You enter, you create your profile, you say, I'll speak this language and this language, and I want to learn this language and this language, or whatever you want to write. And then the platform will set you up with people that are learning your language, and they are teaching the language you want to teach. So it's a very clever platform. And you have exercise. Sometimes people write you, and you have to correct the mistakes, and you can submit your writings to them, so they will correct yours. So it
Is it
sounds.
free?
Sorry.
It's free for
Oh
free.
yeah, up until a certain point, yeah. Of course, you can get the premium membership would give you access to, I don't know what the fuck, but you got the free version. You have pretty good. You get in contact with people. You can chat with people. You can in my times, like 5 years ago, you can voice chat with these people, and you get to submit your writings. Say, okay, and even the platform gave you a small activity, like, please give a description of your best friend. And then you gave the description in the language, and someone who is native from the language you're learning will correct your writing. So it's good, and you can do the same. You can correct someone who's writing in Spanish or English, while you're.
Sounds sounds very interesting.
Yeah, it was a very good. It's a very good platform. I don't know. I haven't visited. I still have my account open, but I haven't visited in years. I don't know. Like 2 years ago was the last time
I'm
I.
trying like an app.
Yeah, and now for sure they must have an app for the cell phones and stuff. But I don't know how is it now, and I know it's not the only one. I think there are many other languages. Sorry, platform for a language exchange at the moment. So yeah, you can
Languages
try
also
it. Sorry.
also languages.
Hmm. Yeah, go ahead and give it a look, and I'm sure you'll find it interesting. Uh, okay, so so about going back to the topic of modal like verbs, like you can have. There are many modal like verbs. I think the most commons are be able to and have to. This is another modal like verb. Usually, it can be an alternative for must. Okay, so but there are differences. Okay, we'll talk about those differences in the next class. Don't worry. But I can't think of any other modal like verb, but there are more. Like, for example, allowed to.
Um, hmm, I have in intermediate English. I have the tutor. suggest me a link for material of modal verbs. So if you wish, I can send you the link.
Oh,
I was reading it, and it is very interesting. It's very good. It is explained very clear. I just check it por encima. I
yeah,
don't know how to say.
yeah. Give it a quick look, or browse it up. Browse it up.
I browse it up,
Browse.
and it is very good because I had to make 20 sentences using the verb could and sorry would and will. It
Okay.
says real and unreal situations. I already made it, but I don't know if is it good. I think it is right, but I'm not sure.
Okay. Okay.
I'm going to share the screen so you can see it, but I don't find it where to share it. Okay.
Oh, yeah. Cute.
Are you seeing my screen?
Not yet. Not yet. Okay. Yeah. Now I'm saying it. Yes. Okay. I can say it. Gracious.
The first was, what will you do if you win a trip? I have to write 10 sentences
Okay.
responding to it, and I don't know. I tried. I will tell everybody around me that I'm going on a trip all already wrote, and I
Okay.
have to follow the a sequence doing all this. So I tried. The first city that I like to arrive is Italy. I will go through all over the city and shoot photos to the architecture. I'll go to Roman Colosseum, and also I'll go to the Leaning Pisa Tower, and I will shoot a picture that looks like I'm holding it with my fingers. And
Okay.
the
Yeah.
other, what would you do if you were invisible?
Okay.
I I were invisible. I will go for the girl that I have a crush in, and I will kiss her and whisper in
Ah,
her ear, "You should date Andrew. He's a good match for you, and he loves you." Oh,
okay.
and then mm, here, this is the
The link.
yes. It is very good. That link.
Yeah. Just gonna go in. Okay. It'll have to be. I have to be in my account for it to work. Let me get into that.
Okay, you can open it when you have time and take a look to it.
Yeah. Well, let me see. Because I need to be in my university thing. Yeah. Here it is.
Okay.
Oh shit! I don't remember my. I haven't been in my account for a long time now. I don't remember my account. Okay, let me see. Actually, it says my password has expired, but I don't know why.
Oh,
No.
because we have to change we all had to change the password. So you
Okay,
have to do.
I didn't know that. That's how often I go into the platform. I never do actually. Okay, now I can find my old um password. Uh, okay,
When
fine.
we finish these encounters, I'm gonna miss it really, real much because with you I have learned so many things and vocabulary.
Yeah, well, we were gonna, yeah, that's it. That would have been the idea to have longer classes and things like that. But we still can meet, man. It's like through a Skype or yeah. You'll tell me how are your classes going and whatever your trips are going through and yeah, we can chat. We shouldn't lose contact. We shouldn't lose contact. Sorry, is what I'm saying. Oh my God, I forgot everything. Yeah.
Well, in that also, I can I can know my level. The data it takes 5 minutes long, depending on your responses. We
Uh,
know each user is unique. For that, we are going to find the point of the start point, ideal for your experience of learning.
yeah. God.
When we finish it, I will check it. You can
Ah,
check your password.
no, no, yeah, no, no, just not yet. Okay, so let me do it again. And it's just so many batches. Okay, okay. Oh yeah. So let me see.
I have it open. It said can't, be able to. Habilidad. Se usa para escribir una habilidad, bla, bla, bla. It is very clear and specific.
I love that. I would do it. Okay, I think I could do it now. Come on. Okay, good. I think I did it. I think I did it.
Could you open it?
Yeah, well, then give me a second. Yes. Okay. Finish that. Okay. And now I'm just going. Oh my God, I go crazy.
I can share you the screen, and when you have time, you can check it out.
Yeah, please. Okay, share the screen with me, man, because I it's gonna take me forever
Tell me
now.
when you're in my screen.
I'm in your screen now. Modal verb
Okay.
can be like ability. Yes, again, but it's right. Okay, it's very simple and
Tell me
clear.
when you scroll down.
Yeah, you can scroll down now. Okay, can really yeah, I was able to. Okay, very good. I like this part when it says you use
Look,
was or was able to were able to describe an ability that it was employed. That's good. Employed in a specific moment in the past, and I think it's
look.
very accurate.
Here
It's,
is the one that you said, the
yeah,
must and have to.
yeah, yeah, totally. That's the one.
Yes. Need to, will, want. Before, time before, or time ago, I used to think that want it was to say that I don't want to do something. So I used to say it, for example, I won't cook today, to say that no quiero cocinar hoy.
Okay.
I was completely wrong.
I want. Yeah. No, oh, no, no, you don't. But you can say I want, like will not. I
Yeah,
want, but it expresses
I'm going to do in the future.
yeah, well, but also it means what you want to do. if you see the verb will, which is the weakest of the futures because it's just in your mind. It means that you have the determination to do it. The verb will is very similar, very similar to the verb wollen in German. And the conjugation of wollen in German is ich will.
Sorry, can I stop sharing the screen?
Yeah, please, just don't worry, man. Thank you for
Oh,
sharing. I'm just gonna try to. I'll try to. I don't think I can say it in my screen because those are for very specific users. But thank you very much. It's actually good. It's a very good worksheet. I like it.
I
So
will send you the document, but I don't know how to download it, the whole document, because it just says to download some pages in specific.
yeah, like for example, if you say this sentence in German, ich will Bier trinken. It means I want to drink beer. Okay. So you see that the verb will in German is pretty much similar at the verb want in Spanish in English. Sorry. So want is not very far from the when you say I want to go to Italy is not very far from saying I will go to Italy. Of course, when you say I will go to Italy, it expresses more certainty. Okay, but they are very close in the expression. In fact, when you say will, is the weakest of the futures.
Sorry, I can
Okay,
understand.
this
There's
is just
interference.
it means it's in your head. Okay, so just give it a second because it's frozen. Just
Okay.
okay, back.
Yes, it's back. Good.
Excellent. Yeah, some more glitches in the connection. So yes, when you say ich will Bier trinken, it means almost the same as I want to drink beer in English. So it's very interesting that the verb feel or fallen in German is actually the verb want in English. Okay, so when you
Yes.
say for example, I will learn German. I will learn German. It is not that different than saying I want to learn German. Okay, because when you say will, it doesn't mean anything. It just is in your head. You have the disposition. You maybe have you want to do it, but you haven't done anything. Okay, I want to learn German. I will learn German, but I haven't done anything. I haven't bought a book. I haven't signed in a course. I haven't I don't know, read in German, find a friend who teaches me German. Nothing. Just in my head. Just will will sometimes is just willingness. Okay. In fact, the other meaning of will in Spanish, if it's a noun, is voluntad. Okay. Will means voluntad. Okay, so so it's not very different to say I will and want to. Okay, so it's not that wrong. Okay. Um. Anyways, okay, let's go back to business and right. Let's practice a little bit of. Let me find it. Okay, no, you better. Do you want to read a little bit? Do you remember the reading that we were doing last time?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I do. I remember.
Okay. Let me see. So, I okay. I don't remember where were we. I think we were in Japan. Do you remember?
Do I remember what?
Where did we left off? Where did we leave off? ¿Dónde nos quedamos? Where did we
Yes,
leave?
I think so. If I
Okay.
see the,
Okay. Can you see it now?
yes, I can.
Okay. So you think we got to the Nordic diet? Or we were
Yes, in there.
because we read the Nordic diet or the Mediterranean like diet. Whatever. Okay, so new Nordic diet. Scientists.
We already read this
Oh yeah.
small.
Okay,
Yes,
let's scroll down.
I
Japan.
remember it because of the oat and rice.
Okay, good. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, Japan. World Health Organization says, yeah, that one too.
Okay, I go on.
Yeah, please, if you have a
Okay,
minute.
Japan. The World Health Organization says that Japanese people are some of the longest living people on the planet. The life expect the expectancy there is a 87
Okay.
years old
The
for
stress, the stress goes in the second syllable.
expectancy.
Exactly. Very good.
Expectancy.
Life expectancy. Very good.
Okay, the expectancy there is 87 years old for women and 80 for men. Researchers believe the Japanese diet is the reason for such long lifespans. The diet has many foods that are low in calories and high in nutrients. Japanese people eat a lot of seaweed, tofu, miso soup, rice, vegetables, and fish.
Yes. Good. Excellent. Okay. Let me scroll down. What do you think lifespans mean?
I don't know what does it really mean.
Well, actually, span only means duration. So it's just that life. It refers. It would be translated as lives, but it refers to the duration of life, to the longevity of a person. Okay. Okay. Oh,
Ahora te hablo. Sorry.
okay. No worries, mate. Okay. People on the island of Okinawa.
Um, can you repeat it, please? Ah, okay, you were reading.
Yeah.
People in the island of Okinawa live especially long, and local food traditions may help explain why. For example, the tradition there is to stop eating when your stomach feels 80% full. The Okinawan diet is also especially heavy on nutrients-rich vegetables. While food habits on Okinawa may be changing, the island is still home to many people over 100 years of age. Researchers suggest this may be from eating fewer calories over a long period of time.
Okay, very good. And let's go back. Let's go to the French paradox. Any words?
The
Any words that you don't understand here? Any words that need explaining for you in these two couple of paragraphs?
maybe the word fewer. Fewer, I think, is las menos calorías posibles.
Okay, very
But
good. Why do we use fewer instead of less?
yes,
Can we say less calories?
mm, can you repeat it, please?
Can we say less calories?
I think that could be sounds good. That that will be that will be good to say it.
Yeah, it sounds correct or it sounds okay, but it's not. Okay, the correct way to say is fewer. Okay, so whenever you want to use the comparative
Okay,
for for men,
because fewer is without the e and r. It's few. That is focus.
yes.
Okay.
Okay, fewer calories. But it's more special to say less calories is incorrect because less is a comparative for minus something. Uh, Only for uncountable. So you can say less water, but you cannot say less people. You can't say less people. You need to say fewer people. Fewer people, but you can say for uncountable things, for uncountable nouns, you can say less. Okay? Or no, you must say less. And fewer for countable. So I need to eat fewer. I don't know. I don't know. I need to eat fewer calories. Yeah, probably. And I need to drink less alcohol, for example.
Yes.
Okay, so less is for uncountable, fewer for countable nouns. Okay, over a long period of time. Very good. Okay, the French paradox. The French paradox.
The French paradox. However, French people eat fatty foods but do not get fat, and they live a long time. Researchers call this the French paradox. A paradox, a paradox, a paradox is something made up of opposites and seems impossible, but it is, in fact, possible. The
Okay.
reason why the research
How do you say this word? How do you pronounce this word?
um, opposite
Opposites.
opposites.
Opposites. And it seems impossible, but it is in fact possible. Okay. The reason. Go ahead.
The reason why the French eat fatty foods without getting fat might be simple. They eat less. They eat less. Serving sizes in French restaurants and in product sold in stores and smaller than those in the United States. And generally speaking, most French people. Can you scroll up?
Scroll up.
Uh,
Oh yeah.
down, down,
Sorry.
down.
No. Okay.
Okay, most French people do not snack. This means they do not eat food between meals.
Good. Okay. Problems with American diet. Okay. We'll do because this is the good or up to here in the reading. Let's talk about the benefits of diets. And I think farther down we're gonna find the problems, especially with the American diet, which is one of the worst diets or the most the most unhealthy diet um, in the world, I think. So we're gonna continue in the next class, man. So very good. You're reading very fluently. Amazing, man. Congratulations. Um, okay. Any other words that you need explaining?
Yes, but great. This word, most French people do not snack.
Snack.
This means okay. I don't know I don't know the real meaning of a snack. I
Uh,
mean, here everyone say a snack to the Cheetos and all those things, but does it have any translation?
yeah, it does. Well, I don't know. Yes, but it's not very formal. I think you could say, I don't know.
Okay.
How would you say? ¿Cómo dirías comer pasabocas? Picar.
Sorry, it sounds
It's okay.
very.
It's okay, man.
To take snack?
Uh,
Okay.
uh, I think the best way, like you can say snack, because the problem with the snack is, which in Spanish translates as pasabocas, but in English it's also a verb. Okay, so you can use it as a verb. Okay,
Okay.
so you can say I don't eat snacks. It's perfect, but you also can say I don't snack, which means I don't eat between meals. In Spanish and in Colombian Spanish in particular, I think you can translate that as a verb, como picar, picar. We no, yeah. Yo no pico entre comidas. Like it's very informal, but it's the best way. I don't think we have.
Between meals, it means that they have lunch and they do not eat anything else
In
until
between.
dinner.
Yeah, exactly. They just have 2 or 3 meals, and they don't snack, or they don't have snacks between meals. So that's what it means. Okay, it's very funny because we don't have a word like that. I think Colombians, we have a word for that, which is picar or picotear or mecatear, but it's
Yes.
very regional. It's very regional dialect. So I don't think we have an official Spanish word for snack as a verb. As a noun, is pasabocas, but as a verb, I don't think we have an official Spanish translation for that. Okay, man, thank you very much. As usual, it was a very nice class. You read much better this time. Very fluent,
Here.
very few mistakes in pronunciation. Yeah, you're one of the ones, because I've been working with this reading, with this article, with several groups from my classes, from my face-to-face classes, and your pronunciation is amazing, man. And you have very fluid um a very fluid reading, because most of people, they just read very fast, but they start making mistakes. They start, crashing the words against each other. They forget endings and things like that. So how are you doing? Jesus Christ.
Hello.
Yeah. Oh, my girlfriend's crazy. So that's the thing. They want to they think that reading fast is better, but it's not. Okay, but you have a very good speed in reading, and your pronunciation is still good. You pronounce very articulately every word, which is difficult. I know. I give you that. It's very difficult to do it. Okay, my friends, and now I have to. Yeah, I have to finish because I have to prepare the other
You,
class, and I'll see you on Friday at the same time, same hour. Yep.
okay,
Okay.
have a good afternoon and thank you for everything.
Yeah.
It's good always to learn something from you.
Yeah, man. I'm glad I can be of help. And if you have any doubts or anything, just ask me, and I'll find the grammar for you. Okay.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, my friend. Take it. Have a good rest of the day. Bye, mates.
Bye.